once a magnificent symbol of elegance and affluence, tucked away on the outskirts of New Orleans, stood an abandoned hotel called La Pearl Magique, the Magic Pearl. This once grand establishment, long rumored to be haunted, had fallen into disrepair and stood as a mere shadow of its former self. Now covered with ivy and weeds, if you stand back and survey the whole structure, you can still see some of the ornate stonework and classic architectural features that gave this once bustling hotel its distinct characteristics. Many believe this place held dark secrets within its decaying walls, even before it closed all those years ago. One warm, moonlit night, a daring young journalist named Sophie decided to explore the long-abandoned hotel. Driven by curiosity and a hunger for a spine-chilling story that she could take back to her editor. Armed with her camera and a voice recorder, she cautiously approached the crumbling entrance, then entering the grand foyer. The ceiling over the foyer was high, with a glass skylight that spilled moonlight right onto the center of the old tile floor. As she slowly crept forward, she could feel her heart pounding in her ears. She was both excited and apprehensive. Were the rumors true? Was the old hotel really haunted? The air was heavy with the musty scent of old plaster and rotting wood. Sophie's footsteps echoed eerily through the deserted lobby. As she studied her surroundings, Sophie noticed moonlight filtering through the tall windows, which were shattered long ago by vandals, casting an eerie light on the decaying furniture and peeling wallpaper. Suddenly, Sophie thought she could hear voices. They were soft and distant, almost as if they were in her own head. Who knows, she thought to herself, maybe they are. As the voices waned, Sophie cautiously proceeded down one of the long corridors to explore the main floor. With each step, the floor creaked and groaned, as if to warn her that she shouldn't be here. Sophie let her mind wander for a minute, thinking back to all the stories she'd heard growing up, the rumors she had heard about the hotel's past, stories of unexplained disappearances and ghostly apparitions. At the end of the corridor, Sophie came upon a rickety staircase. As she climbed the fragile structure, her heart skipped a beat as she heard more whispers, echoing from dark, unseen corners. Somehow the voices seemed closer than before. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, as if there were eyes boring into her very soul. She turned her flashlight on and scanned each wall and corner, but no one was there. Of course there's no one here, Sophie said, now talking out loud to help comfort herself. She pushed forward, driven by her determination to uncover the truth once and for all. As she explored the upper floors, Sophie came to a closed door. It seemed to be the only closed door on the whole second level. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to open the door and investigate further. As she entered the room, it appeared to be relatively untouched by time's relentless decay. The furniture, although a little dusty, was still in place and almost in perfect condition. The carpeting, drapes, and wallpaper all looked brand new compared to the rest of the hotel. But how is this possible? There haven't been any guests here for more than 50 years. As Sophie made her way to the center of the suite, she was met with a sudden chill, goosebumps prickling her skin. The room seemed suspended in time, as if waiting for guests who would never arrive. After the initial shock of her discovery started to wear off, Sophie grabbed her camera, and she started capturing images of the eerily preserved room. But as she reviewed the photos, she noticed a spectral figure lurking in the background, its eyes filled with a malevolent intensity. She looked around the room again, but couldn't see anyone. She took a few more photos, and the figure was no longer there. But the voices were back, now getting louder. They almost seemed to be taunting her, calling to her. She needed to press on. She needed those answers. After exploring the rest of the upper floors, Sophie decided to venture into the basement. Once at the bottom of the stairs, her heart sank. She found herself surrounded by a labyrinth of corridors, each resembling a twisted maze. She thought about heading back up the stairs and leaving the basement for someone else to explore. But as Sophie turned around, the stairs were gone. The air grew colder, and the whispers grew louder, echoing off the moss-covered walls. Panic welled up within her as she lost her way, each turn leading to another. The halls never seemed to end. There seemed to be no way out. Suddenly, behind her, a door swung open with a creak. Where did that come from, she thought to herself, and why is it moving on its own? There was no other way to go but through the door. Sophie approached the open door with some trepidation. She stopped at the threshold in utter shock. There, in this long-forgotten place, was a room full of people in formal attire, all dancing to a seemingly never-ending waltz. As she entered through the stately archway, she noticed the room was bathed in an ominous glow. The ghostly figures all moved in perfect time, their faces etched with sadness and longing. Sophie stood frozen, unable to take her eyes away for what seemed like a lifetime, witnessing a hauntingly beautiful scene. Suddenly, as quickly as the ethereal dance had begun, it dissolved into darkness. Silence engulfed the room, broken only by the echoes of whispers and empty footsteps on the dilapidated parquet floor. Feeling a presence behind her, Sophie turned to find herself face to face with the apparition she had captured in her photographs. The figure, its features seemingly contorted with rage, reached out with ghostly hands, threatening to pull her into the shadows where all the spectral ballroom attendees had gone. Sophie's mind was racing. Was this how the Grand Hotel gained its current guests? Was she to be next? The apparition started dragging Sophie closer and closer to the darkness. Summoning her remaining courage, Sophie let out a blood-curdling scream, and somehow managed to break free from the spirit's clammy grasp. She raced out of the old ballroom with her would-be captor close behind, and back into the maze of corridors. Turn after turn. How long could she run like this? There didn't seem to be any way out. Suddenly, there was a small amount of light starting to peek into the corridor, as if the sun was beginning to come up. A door suddenly appeared at the end of the corridor. With a sigh of relief, she raced towards the exit. Hopefully this led somewhere safe. The once ghostly whispers were now a cacophony of vengeful shrieks, following right on her heels. Bursting through the door, Sophie found herself outside with the morning sun shining on her face. The voices and the spectral figure were gone. Was any of this real? Had she let the rumors and tall tales take over her mind? Sophie turned to look at the magic pearl looming behind her, standing tall as a testament to the horrors hidden within its walls. Sophie knew she had witnessed something beyond human understanding, an evil that would forever haunt her dreams. As she made her way home, gathering her shattered nerves, she vowed to share her chilling encounter, hoping no one would ever dare to wander into the clutches of the magic pearl again.